Okay, so the first question is about 2011 referendum. Do you think that this was an important moment in the transition, and if it was, it shaped the transition to go in a good direction or in the bad direction?
I think it was definitely an important moment, and it was a negative moment, and it ruined the transition, I think. It was very important at the time that the different political actors involved tried to act in unison not against, but in front of the military. What happened was that the country got divided into two main camps, one that went more towards the parliament, and then the other that went more towards we need a new constitution first. And then there was another problem, which is somehow that referendum became about the identity of Egypt, and it wasn't about that. Those who voted yes were, some of them, not all of them, were talking about an Islamic identity for Egypt, or protecting the Islamic identity of Egypt, and those who said we were going to vote no, it was supposedly to have a new constitution, and it was said that they were more civic or secular. Most of this is contrived, but I would say it was the start of where everything began to go wrong. The division of Egypt, the artificial debate on the identity of Egypt, and if we didn't have that, Egypt would have probably been in a much better place now.
And the other question is about freedom of expression. I mean, we saw that before the fall of Mubarak, there was no freedom of expression at all. And it seems to me that in the first 3 months, there were some kind, the self-censorship was broken. The censorship seems to be broken, but then we saw that there was like a step behind. So it started again, censorship and all these accusation journalists. So what do you think, and in which, at the moment, are you afraid for freedom of expression, both artistic freedom and journalistic freedom?
Yeah, I would like to start by disagreeing with the premise of the question. I mean, from 2005 and until 2011, freedom of expression was actually increasing in Egypt, even under Mubarak. And you would see more newspapers criticizing Mubarak, and more newspapers talking about his children and about his life and so on. So things were already gradually increasing at the time. So it wasn't just a swift. And right after the revolution, of course, there was an exponential increase. And people were talking more about politics, about social issues. But there's the problem of self-censorship. Many people, especially those who work in state media and those who try to get close to the military and to other state institutions, try not to be too critical, or try not to be critical at all, either to protect their own jobs or to maintain their contacts. And until now in Egypt, there are certain, we call them red lines. I don't know if the same expression exists outside, but the idea is one such red line are certain issues involving the military, although that has been broken a bit. Certain issues involving the intelligence and other security organizations, writings that are critical of religion or certain religious topics, that's another red line. So I would say that certain issues, so far I think that freedom of expression has improved, especially on political issues, but there are worries, and many of these worries again involve how we discuss religious issues, how we discuss the military, and it's still unclear what's going to happen, and a lot of it is self-censorship as well. They need people to be willing to break the barrier. But I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that we've taken yet a step back, but we're still fighting to move forward.